Today I am talking about how vampires are totally real. They do exist. Like, what do they look like? How do we find them? Where are they? How do we spot them? How do we protect ourselves from them? Let's just dive right into it. Vampires are real. They do exist. They don't look, however, like what we've been taught that they look like. They're not going to show up as blood sucking fangs. Like, no, they don't sleep during the day and get up at night. I'm talking about energy vampires. They are the energy drainers, they are the spiritual life force drainers, they are people that you surround yourself with. We are launching right into how to identify what these vampires look like in your life. They're people who you surround yourself with. They could be family members, they could be friends, they could be co-workers, they could be bosses. We know that they are people that we surround ourselves with. But how do you spot them? What are the physical characteristics? What are the mental and emotional characteristics that we should be aware of? How to spot them? The physical features, they physically look in extremes. So they can either look really like emaciated, their skin is just kind of like hugging their cheekbones. They look very malnourished, could look a little obese, a little overweight. They look a little disheveled as well, like their hair is a mess or they haven't shaved in like a week. They're in the extremes of the lack of self-care, basically, and essentially is what you just kind of need to look for. They could also have hollow eyes as well, like they could look very tired, as though they're not getting very much sleep. Some emotional and mental characteristics to kind of note when you're around them. These are people who have a lack of motivation. They are people who are also like unhappy all the time. They're critical of not just themselves, they're critical of other people that you surround yourself with, like other friends or other family members. These are people that like to complain a lot. They have a lot to complain about, and more often than not, they like to also blame other people instead of taking accountability or being self-aware about their actions. They tend to point the finger at other people and act as though other people are the ones that are making those decisions for them, the negative decisions for them. They also disrespect other people as well. They might make little aside comments that are very negative, that just aren't really necessary. I can give you some real life examples of what I've kind of been dealing with. I remember having a friend that, I felt like I was very much there for them in a lot of different ways, and I supported them through a lot of things, but they just couldn't handle the fact that I wasn't as accessible to them as they wanted me to be. They expressed a lot of that insecurity, maybe even a little bit of envy. They expressed that in other ways. They tended to point a finger at me instead of taking a look at their actions and how they've responded to some things that I've also mentioned to them as well. Yeah, ultimately I had to cut that person out of my life because it just became a cycle and a pattern that I had come to notice, and it wasn't helping me in any way. Another example that I can give currently and presently has been with family. I love my family. I really truly do. I love and support them very much, but I have definitely noticed that some family members I've had to, create a little distance with. A cycle and a pattern that I've noticed of the unwillingness to try. There is not really like much motivation to find solutions. Whenever I surround myself with them, it just feels like I'm giving advice, I'm giving opinions that they don't really want or that they don't really want to listen to. And so I've come to an understanding in a place that, okay, as much as I love these family members of mine, it's not really a smart idea for me to be around them as much or as often as I would like to be. just because of their state of mind and their state of being that they're choosing to be in. Some things to remember when we are spotting energy vampires in our lives. These energy vampires, these people in our lives that we're surrounding ourselves with, they often do mean well. They're not horrible people solely with horrible intentions solely. Now, some energy vampires, some of these people, they are aware of their actions, and they do try to intentionally be draining or just be negative because they're choosing that path and that state of being. But usually they are very well-meaning individuals. You know that there is still a spark in them. There's still a spark of, being more compassionate, being empathetic, being more understanding. You see that spark within them. You can tell that they have certain gifts as well. The friends in my past and the family members that I'm staying at a distance from today, I can tell they are incredibly loving, they are incredibly caring, they are very generous and kind souls. They are very, very helpful, and you notice that these are gifts that can be used to help other people. They just don't know how to be able to use them right now because they are stuck in that negative state of being and they don't know how to move forward. They can also have periods of positivity as well. So what I mean by that is the friends in my past that I've had to let go of, and also my family members currently that I am staying at a distance of, sometimes I did notice that they did have like a positive streak to them. Like maybe I saw that they are being kind towards other people. They are making an effort to shift their mindset from being negative all the time to actually being positive.